This is the last video in the Winter Scene series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put a snow person in your snowy landscape. First of all, open your finished Winter Scene project and your finished snow person. Click and drag a selection around this with the selection tool and go to Object, Group, and copy it. So Control C on the keyboard. Go to your winter scene, and I'm going to close some of these, get them out of the way. Go to Control V on the keyboard, and that adds your snow person to the scene. Hold down Shift and Alt and use the corners, and you can shrink that to a size that you think looks good and move your snow person around to a nice spot. And there's a few more things that we need to do. So if I zoom out of this a little bit, you can see that we have snowflakes coming off the side here, and it also looks like the snow person is kind of floating above the snow and not really part of the snow. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a clipping mask to make it look like the person is in the snow. So let's deselect. I'm going to get the ellipse tool and change it to white. I'm going to draw an ellipse around the snow person, and what I am looking for is to match the curve of the ellipse to the curve of the snow, and this looks okay. I want to make sure that I cover the entire snow person except for this little bottom part here. Then, over in the Layers panel, I am going to click the ellipse to make sure it's selected. You can tell it has this little square next to it. I'm going to hold Shift on the keyboard and click this little circle here to also select the snow person. There we go. So those are both selected. Then go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. So now it looks like that snow person is nestled down into the snow. And I can actually think maybe it's a little bit too high, so I'm going to go to my Layers panel, click on the ellipse to select it, click until it has this little square next to it. Then on the keyboard, I'm going to use the arrow keys and move that down. And that looks pretty good. So just so it hides the bottom part of the snow person so it looks like it's kind of nestled into the snow. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is mask all of these snowflakes on the side that I don't want to see. So I am going to click on the very top layer, switch this to the rectangle tool. I need to click off of this to make sure nothing is selected. Now I'm going to change my fill and stroke to the defaults. I'm going to click and drag a rectangle over the top of everything. And then I will select everything by clicking where it says Layer 1 on this little circle right here so the square shows up next to all of the layers. Then I will go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, and now I have a nice clean edges. The last thing that I would like to do to finish off this project is rearrange the layers so it looks like the snow person is in between the falling snowflakes. So to do that, I'm going to select the snow person layer and click in this little circle here so that I have the little squares lighting up, and I'm going to click it and drag it and just try out different areas in between the snowflakes until there's some snowflakes that are covering the snow person. And there we go. So now we have some snowflakes that are overlapping in front of the snow person. And if you want to, you can get your snowflake brushes back and add a few more snowflakes to the scene if you think that your project needs that. Make sure that you save your changes, and that's it for this video.